What is the best form of motorsport? Some may argue Formula One. It is best known for its cutting-edge technology, a global prestige, and having the highest level of driving skills. Some may say that it is the World Endurance Championship, a test of endurance, engine reliability, strategy, cars having to drive for 24 hours.
But personally to me, I think that the most important form of motorsport is rally. Let's go. All right, you join me here on what is called Kuri Bush. It makes up the final rally stage of the thrilling and exciting Otago Rally. This is my local rally and it is truly a world-class event. Now, this is a great explanation of why I think rally is so important, because I am just simply here on a public road.
Allow me to explain. This is Silverstone, and it is one of the most well-loved racing circuits in the world. It holds a wide variety of motorsports, from GT3, Formula One, Motogp, touring cars, as well as smaller club events like public track days. But the point I'm trying to get across is that regardless of what your local racetrack is, the fact of the matter is that these are all private circuits that are mostly closed off to the public.
Now, although circuits like Silverstone are crucially important and so special to so many people, they lack something a bit more personable. You see, a racetrack is a closed-off section of tarmac that is vital for people like, Formula One drivers, GT drivers, endurance drivers, people who have purpose-built racing machines that would make no sense out here in the real world. It's a place where they can be closed off, away from road restrictions, minimum heights, minimum noise, and go flat out and drive as fast as not only the car, but the laws of physics will sometimes allow. However, that's not accessible for everyone. Not everyone, or in fact, very few people are allowed to drive Formula One cars, and there are fewer places where you can drive them in a safe and controlled manner. Rally stages, therefore, are important because they're not designed for those types of cars. They're designed for regular cars, like something you or me would drive, because they're just a road. But being the fact that it's part of a rally stage means it's so much more than a road. Just looking at it behind me, it jumps and bends and I can see it go on for kilometers and kilometers off into the distance. I've stood behind where the camera is sitting for the past 5 years to watch cars try and shave tenths of a second off of their time. There are physical grooves within this mound of dirt where perhaps a Ford Escort or a Subaru WRX has shot round here. A madman behind the wheel fighting for his life to get their last chance at victory. And it's a public road. I am just allowed to be here, and you're allowed to drive on these rally stages provided you don't crash and ruin it for the rest of us. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get into my car and I'm going to drive this rally stage. Now, not like a rally driver, like a responsible road user. However, as I drove my car from about that point there to there, I had this amazing feeling that I wasn't on a road. I was on a true rally stage, something vitally important, not only to the local economy and to Dunedin, but to me.
Here in Otago we have some spectacular driving roads. Thanks to their diverse geography and small population, the roads aren't perhaps as wide or as straight or as in good condition as they should be. However, it makes it an ideal rally stage with several fast flowing corners and blind crests to keep it interesting, even at comparatively slow speeds. What makes rallying so unique to me is the fact that it takes place within the real world. It will go ahead rain or shine. The cars may have to stop because a cow or a sheep goes wandering onto the rally stage, or maybe they take a wrong turn and end up down some dead-end road, or they end up crashing out of the rally. But the cars are built tough, and for the most part you could roll it over and keep going. Not only do the cars need to be able to drive on the absolute limit for the rally stages, they also need to be able to drive from one stage to another on the public roads, which means that as you, the viewer, drives between one rally stage to another, the actual rally cars themselves will be driving right there beside you, going to the same stage. Rally is a global motorsport, and it is probably the most diverse in terms of road conditions, stage lengths, and also of course the weather. As a spectator watching online, a rally really gives you a feel for the country and where it takes place, because you're out in the far wilderness speeding through the trees and across the old dirt tracks, almost forgotten by the locals themselves. Rally is unique in the way that the drivers aren't alone. Now, you may already know this, but rally drivers have co-pilots, someone who will sit with them in the passenger seat and read out a series of mysterious codes that tell the drivers what kind of corner, jump or obstacle is coming up next. Since the drivers have no idea what is around the next corner, sometimes having to drive stage lengths for the first time flat out. But my goodness, are those rally drivers artists. They have to control a lightweight car flying down a gravel road, sometimes having to save the car from extreme angles, all within the blink of an eye.
Why am I all making this? Well, in about 2 weeks' time, there is going to be the Otago Rally. It's going to be the 50th anniversary with around 148 cars entering. Now, for most of the rally events, it's free entry. You just sort of have to park your car somewhere along that horrible road there and then walk all the way back up and then stand here and watch rally cars fly by at you. Trust me, it is brilliant fun.
With 37 of those teams being from overseas, from 11 countries, which means this is set to be the biggest international rally that New Zealand has seen since 2008. With big names in attendance such as Mads Ostberg and Kris Meeke fighting it out in the historic class, Mads in the RX3 and Kris in the famous Rosdale Ford Escort. Other highlights are the cars driven by Ari Pettigrew and Andy Martin, who will both be driving GT3 Porsches in the New Zealand Rally Championship. Another big name entering the rally of Toby Price, who competed in the Dakar Rally and won it twice in the motorcycle category. Now, I haven't been sponsored by the Otago Rally in any way, I'm just super excited for this event. I'm going to leave an official link down below for the Otago Rally website where you can find spectator maps and advice on how to best watch the rally.
So, what I'm going to suggest you do is if you're in the local region, just come down for a bit, see if you can't get the day off and come watch the rally cars. I'm going to be out there, and if you can't, I'm going to be doing my very hardest to make a little video about it, so keep an eye out for that too. Hope to see you there.